Let me tell you the story of the most embarrassing military campaign in the history of the Zynark Coalition. I am Admiral Thrak, and this is how we learned the hard way why you should never mess with humans. We had everything planned out. A species from a backwater planet, no spacefaring capability, no advanced weaponry. How could they possibly resist? They couldn't even leave their own atmosphere without strapping themselves into glorified tin cans, powered by explosions. We were confident, overconfident really. Oh, we did our research. We studied humans for centuries. We analyzed their technology, their social structures, their history. We calculated their chances of meaningful resistance at 0.2%. We were generous. I thought I might have even overestimated. After all, how could a species that can barely maintain a stable government put up a fight against the Zynark Coalition? Oh, how wrong we were. Our first mistake: communication. We thought that as advanced conquerors of the galaxy, we could simply demand their surrender. A few polite words from me and the humans would hand over their planet, like any reasonable species would. What did we get in return? Laughter. Actual laughter. They didn't respond with panic. They didn't even seem frightened. No, they sent us something called a meme, crude images of my glorious ships, paired with snarky text, like, "You mad, bro?" I hissed in indignation. My tentacles twitched in what I thought was righteous fury, but Lieutenant Kedged, one of our most competent officers, just stared at the screen, eyes wide, utterly baffled. He couldn't stop watching this thing they called a Rickroll. A Rickroll. He even started humming along with it. I swear to the stars, we had to reboot our communications systems 3 times before we could even ask them what the hell this Rickroll was. But there was more to come. Then came what we now refer to as the Florida incident. We fired a warning shot, a perfectly reasonable plasma beam across one of their uninhabited moons, just a little show of force. And what did they do? What could they possibly do in retaliation? They sent Florida Man. Yes, a single human, wearing what I now know to be a tank top and something called a trucker hat. You can't even begin to understand the absurdity of the situation. This Florida Man somehow managed to steal one of their space shuttles and pilot it straight into our flagship's fusion core. The physics didn't make sense. The trajectory was totally impossible. We had already plotted the most likely path for any human with a basic understanding of physics, but somehow, it worked. Our flagship, the pride of the Zynark Coalition, was breached by a man wearing a trucker hat. That, of course, was just the beginning. Humans retaliated with what they called the Karen Offensive. Hundreds of them, hundreds, all demanding to speak to our commander. About what? Noise complaints. That's right. We were invaded by a horde of humans, threatening to leave negative reviews on some platform called Space Yelp. Imagine it, my AI systems, capable of calculating quantum trajectories, failing to compute these demands. I demand to speak to the manager. We were at a loss. How do you fight an enemy that doesn't follow any rational pattern of behavior? I asked my fleet, are we in another dimension? But no, this was Earth. We couldn't defend ourselves against the sheer illogic of it all. But the final blow came in the most unexpected form: Minecraft. 1 minute, we were preparing for orbital bombardment. The next, our tactical displays started showing blocks. Blocky replicas of human cities of all things. Our advanced navigation systems were hijacked by a program they called Minecraft. I didn't even know what that was. Lieutenant Quizzed, completely unfazed, began to play it. Oddly compelling, he said. Well, he was gone for 3 solar cycles after that. Lost him. To Minecraft. And with it our remaining hopes of an orderly retreat. The humans had effectively won. Without even trying. The days following that incident were chaotic. I called a fleet-wide meeting to discuss our next steps. The crew gathered in the command chamber, their faces a mix of confusion and horror. Cut's still playing that game, said Lieutenant Zert, pointing at Cut's empty chair. Who is gone, Zert? We have to move on, I said, barely able to control my temper. A low murmur rippled through the crew. No one had any ideas, and worse, no one seemed to be taking anything seriously anymore. It was as if the very fabric of our military superiority had been unraveled by human ridiculousness. I was ready to snap. Look, we have to reevaluate, I said. These humans aren't just unpredictable. They're insane. And that's dangerous. But before I could continue, another message flashed on our screens. It was from Earth, another transmission. Hey aliens, welcome to Earth. Hope you're enjoying the tour. P.S. Enjoy these cat videos. Cat videos. We didn't even know what that was, but there it was, streaming across our screens. hundreds of humans sharing what looked like strange, small creatures jumping and swatting at shiny objects. Can't share. For 2 solar cycles, my fleet sat in stunned silence, watching videos of humans laughing at cats while completely ignoring our threat. What was going on? Then, just when I thought we were nearing a breakdown, they sent us something else. A human pod, entering our atmosphere. It was a human tanker, with a giant inflatable duck on top. Duck. This was their response. They were taunting us with ducks. It was clear we were completely outclassed. And then, one of our own came to me. Lieutenant Zert, clearly agitated, handed me a strange device. It's called TikTok Admiral, she said. I think it's a weapon. She pressed a button, and what followed was beyond comprehension. It was human chaos. People dancing, doing bizarre things to loud music, and all the while laughing, as if the universe itself had no purpose. I realized something then. This was why we had lost. We didn't lose because they were stronger, or because they had superior technology. We lost because they didn't care. They didn't follow rules. They didn't play by the same logic we did. They didn't even play by logic at all. They simply did things, often stupid things, and won by sheer unpredictability. So when we finally retreated, utterly broken and bewildered, the humans sent us one last transmission. L plus ratio plus skill issue. We will never understand what that means. Our scientists are still trying to decode it. We spent solar cycles analyzing those 5 words. It's a curse, an enigma. We have lost a part of ourselves to these strange, illogical creatures. So what did we learn from all of this? We made a fundamental error. We looked at their technology, their chaotic political systems, and their apparent disorder. We thought this is weakness. But we were wrong, so wrong. What we should have seen was their greatest strength. Humans are completely unpredictable. They aren't advanced in the ways we expected. They're not even organized. But somehow, their madness works in their favor. A species that goes from their first flight to landing on their moon in just 66 years. A culture that turns defeat into something they call a meme. A civilization that, in the face of an existential threat, laughs and somehow manages to win anyway. So here's the warning. To any species thinking of invading Earth, don't. Don't. Just don't. You'll defeat yourself, not because you're weaker, but because you'll fight them in a way you never even considered possible. And in the end, they'll make a meme out of you. The real danger isn't that they'll fight back with more strength or more weapons. No, the true peril is in their creativity, their chaos. They'll laugh at you, outlast you, and then they'll turn your defeat into the next viral trend. And you, poor fool, will have been part of a punchline. So, next time you're thinking of conquering a planet, remember this. The humans don't fight fair, they fight in ways that no one can predict. And then they make memes about it.